Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You are most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. Please, your comments are most important to us. Do leave a comment after watching or send us your voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277 128 777. Thank you. Please, I would like you to join me listening to what we have for you today and leave a comment after watching as well. Thank you.
You had the opportunity to speak. Bernard will speak now and then we'll come back to you. Yes, Bernard.
Now, aren't we a sick nation?
Why do you say that?
We navigated from a system of healthcare support where everybody, through the instrumentality of the IMF and World Bank, we were paying as soon as you get to the hospital. We used to call it cash and carry. And so if you were accidented and you go to the hospital, until you are able to pay even OPD services, no treatment would have been offered you. Our hospitals then became graveyards because nobody knows when you are collapsing. And at the point of collapsing, you may not have a relative or someone that can take care of you. So the PNC then proposed that healthcare delivery cannot be on the basis of your having cash.
Cash and carry.
So we moved away from cash and carry and instituted the National Health Insurance Scheme. This National Health Insurance Scheme started in 2005. In its implementation, it was poorly executed because we had in mind a national health insurance where you, the victim, after you have obtained the services, the hospital will send, or the health facility will send you the bill, and then you will accompany it with a note to your service provider, the National Health Insurance, that you attended this facility and this is the bill accompanying it. And the facility will pay. The health insurance will pay to the people and notify you that, look, your health care has been taken care of. Today, what do we see? You walk to a hospital, they take your National Health Insurance card number, and then you are asked to go. You do not know how much has been paid and how much has been charged. So some people somehow are taking advantage of this and they are milking.
At the hospitals?
At the various service providers. In the clinics. Because if they take my National Health Insurance or yours, the number, and after that, I don't get to know how much the cost of my healthcare is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I don't get to know. So it is the facility that determines how much they are going to charge the National Health Insurance. So probably...
But it's according to the treatment that you have received.
Well, that is if they are going to document that. Because if I come and they give me only paracetamol, and it is just mere headache, and then they go and say that they treated me for malaria.
Do we have reason to believe that the hospital...
Yes, these things have happened. And that is why at a certain point in time, the National Health Insurance Scheme went round to do their own audit. And some actual, health providers were actually stopped because they were stealing. And they can use your card, at least once they have your card number in their system, when you don't come to the hospital, they can still generate some claims from it. So clearly, we have deliberately decided that we will not checkmate this source of leakage that some people in the National Health Insurance Scheme are actually in bed with the service providers so they can milk the system. That is one. Now, look, take the direct payment we make to the National Health Insurance. Awal just told us that we have 17.6 million people, active persons. That means that each one of these active persons on the National Health Insurance Scheme might have paid 24 Ghana cedis, right?
No, it's between 72 and 24.
I'm saying that a minimum might have paid 24 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
So if you take it at just the 24 Ghana cedis, That comes to about 422,400,000 Ghana cedis. 400,000 Ghana cedis. That is just the, what do we call it, the direct payments. As for the indirect payments, that when you go to buy water, when you go to buy this, when you go to buy transport, what do we call it, flight, everything, food you are going to eat, you pay 2.5. You can imagine the quantum of money that comes into the national health insurance. Why is the national health insurance in arrears? Because this is a dedicated fund. So monies that come to it naturally should not spend more than 2 months or 1 month at the Ministry of Finance or at the consolidated fund. It should be transferred in bulk to the national health insurance so that they will be able to meet their expenditure. How come that we have decided that, look, we knew that monies will come to the consolidated funds and that we could take care of our national, our health and other infrastructure and other things. But we chose that we should set up these funds, GET Fund, National Health Insurance Fund, Road Fund. We set up these dedicated funds so that when the money comes, it cannot be used for any other purposes, but for the purposes for which they were established. So how come that all of a sudden, the monies meant for these statutory institutions are not delivered? Yeah. And we sit down here and we are lamenting or we are glorifying our mess because it occurred yesteryears. You see, it hurts that when we are talking about our present predicament, you are telling us that, why are you complaining? Because you suffered similar predicament yesterday. I can't get it. If that has become the basis upon which governance is done, then it is useless for us to continue to change government. Because you change a government, and the government solution to your problem is that, look, you suffered a condition under a previous government, so suffer this condition. Why? I am terrified. Look, as we sit, majority of our people cannot, look, they go to the hospitals and their health insurance, they take it. You know the worst of it. When you go to the hospitals and after they have taken your card number, they will tell you that, look, we don't have the medications. So you take a prescription and now go out there to go and buy the medications. How many times have you not seen that? That you go to the hospital and they don't give you any drugs. They give you prescription and you go out to go and buy. And yet we keep paying. We keep paying to service providers who have referred and given us prescriptions to go out there to go and buy our medications. Who is refusing to do proper monitoring and allowing us to go through these scandals? It doesn't sit and bode well with me that you come and sit on a show. Yes, under NDC, look, they owed 9 months. They had 1.2 billion. So what? The crisis we face today is not what we faced under NDC. In any case, you were called upon to come and fix that mess. If you are not able to fix the mess, as Akufo-Addo will say, if the kitchen is too hot, get out of it.
Well,
yes, we have fixed the mess.
You have fixed it?
Yes, we have fixed the mess.
How is that?
Yes, because you see, I am telling you, between 2017 and today, what an average health insurance card bearing holder wants is to go and have access to hospital. And between 2017 and today, there is no single day that someone has used health insurance card to the hospital and they have denied him health care.
Wow.
In 2015, 2016, every day. And I'm telling you that we in Ashanti region, fortunately, he's also from Ashanti region. In Ashanti region, because they could not pay claims, they capped Ashanti region to the extent that you cannot go to more than one hospital in Ashanti region or health service provider. They call that thing a capitation for 5 years. Yes, I used it.
You have an NHIS
I have it.
card.
But my Ghana card is my NHIS card number. Today, everyone.
Have you used it in Accra?
Yes, Ghana Hospital. I was there 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yes, Ofanko. That's where I go to my hospital. I was there 2 weeks ago.
And you weren't required to make any payments?
Pardon me?
You weren't required to make any payments?
No. I didn't pay anything for inpatient, the OPD, to access OPD. No, I didn't pay anything. I didn't even go there with
medicine?
Yes, I was given. I was given malaria drugs because I went there for. I didn't pay for it.
Nothing.
No.
Then this hospital.
You see, I told you it is a story. There is a story I even wrote on my own Facebook page on the same day when I went to the hospital. That I went to the hospital and they asked me, they checked my card. The card had expired, and I had to quickly renew it at that spot and was able to access, because at that time they said I should pay 70 Ghana for the card, for me to pick the card.
I see.
When I did that, I didn't pay. I paid 24 cedis to register. That's one.
Unlike you, most people who use the NHIS card at most government hospitals have to pay something.
So I'm saying that in 2015, 2016 in Ashanti region, my mother was paying for services because she chose a health center which she could not go to Efjasi government hospital. So we sent her to Efjasi government and pay. This was our ordeal in Ashanti region for 5 years. They were using us as guinea pigs. So today, in Ashanti region, you can access every hospital. And again, what he is saying that I'm confused with the thing. There are two different issues here. One is that you have enumerated, we send this amount of money, we send that amount of money. Yes, it's true. But were you doing claims payment? No. When we came in 2017, there was 1.2 billion arrears. Debt that we're supposed to pay through claims, and we were able to pay them.
You have to wait your turn. Okay. We are talking about a present problem.
The present problem.
Arrears owed to the scheme.
Not
over 2.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes.
And for a scheme that has a very specific law.
Yes.
That when deductions are made within 30 days, the monies must be paid.
Yes.
Isn't it troubling to you?
It is.
After
it is. I mentioned
it. It's a very specific law.
Yes, I mentioned it.
30 days.
I said,
and it's been 8 months.
I said it's troubling.
Why?
But the thing is that I am saying that me, a card-bearing member of health insurance, what I want to see is that I go to the hospital and I access health care.
So nothing else matters?
No, I'm saying that is what the ordinary Ghanaian is looking at. The transfer are supposed to be done.
The question is...
You were telling us that you were rattling. We transferred this amount of money, that amount of money. But at the point in time, in Kumasi, they tell us, the health insurance will come with a statement that go to Only Tech Hospital because it's Only Tech Hospital that accept health insurance cards.
For the purposes of education for our listeners, our viewers, let us know. Every time we procure services, 2.5% is deducted.
Yes.
Or we are charged 2.5%
yes.
for NHIS.
Yes.
Where is the money?
The money is supposed to go into the consolidated account. That is where it's supposed to go. Then later, within 30 days, into the consolidated account.
Within 30
days, it is transferred. That is the statutory law.
Within 30 days,
it is transferred to health insurance for them to operate.
So where is the money? What is
the money? Is at the consolidated account.
Why?
And they have agreed on a roadmap to transfer the money.
They don't need a roadmap because there's a specific law that says in 30 days transfer the money.
That is true.
So why are we holding it?
So there was an anomaly.
Why do we need a roadmap?
But I'm saying that it has not affected the person in Jomoro today going to hospital. So it has not affected the person. So and I'm saying that under the NDC that he was rattling, they were transferring the amount, they were up to date in the payment. I am saying, but let me land now because I'm saying
I want to ask a question about
it. I'm saying let me land on this. Okay, I'm saying that he is saying that in 2016 they have transferred 1.6 billion. They didn't do claims payment to the extent that we came in and met an arrears of 1.2 billion, which was paid in 2017 and 2018 in installment. So yes, you can transfer the amount of money. It's different from paying claims so that someone in Kumasi or in Boku can access healthcare. That's very important. You can ask your question.
We've heard hospitals complain that they are not able to pay their staff, they are not able to buy things they need to be able to provide proper healthcare, including consumables.
Yes. Because
the NHIS has not paid them.
Yes.
They are in arrears. Now we know it's 8 months arrears.
No, it's not 8 months arrears. You see, he has succeeded in confusing you. Yes.
It's not 8 months arrears.
No.
Between February and June.
So you don't understand it. Let me explain to you. No, let me explain to you. There are two things here. One is that the 8 months arrears is government statutory transfers that didn't go. The hospital's complaining has to do with claims that they are supposed to receive. That's very important.
Listen, For the hospitals to be able to pay,
It is
where
the
is the money
claims.
supposed to come from?
Claims payment.
Transfer.
Yes,
from,
transfer.
from the Ministry
And I'm
of Finance
so I'm
to the
no,
NHIS.
from NHIS to them. Not they don't have any issue with Ministry of Finance.
Who doesn't have any issue?
The hospitals.
With Ministry of Finance?
What they want is, I'm saying that.
talking about the NHIS.
So that's why I'm saying that he has succeeded in confusing you, because the thing is that the arrears we're talking about today.
Let me
arrears.
read a direct quote for you.
The arrears we're talking about today has to do with transfers from Ministry of Finance.
Exactly what I said.
So the hospitals scenario don't come in, because the hospitals.
It's a precondition for the hospitals to be able to
not
pay.
precondition, because you see, in their time they paid, they did the transfer, but the scheme didn't transfer the money.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't know why
in
I'm
2016.
asking you very specific questions about our present predicament.
Yes.
And you keep referring me to something that
So
happened
when you
in
come
2016.
in and tell me when you come in to say hospitals are complaining, I am telling you
haven't
that
heard private health practitioners complain.
they do. But you see, I'm saying that every month for the last 2 years, what the health insurance scheme has been doing is that they pay in excess of 100 million to claims every month for the last 2 years. And that's the reason you have heard them. They are quiet, even though I know there are some arrears in the claims about 5 months, because it's supposed to be 90 days, 3 months that they are supposed to pay after the service is rendered. So if you bring the scenario, if you link these transfers with the hospitals, it doesn't gel, because the hospitals are supposed to receive their payments from NHIA. Whether it is transferred to them or not, what is important to
critical issues. Bernard.
This one is proper English.
Yeah. A lot of English.
Yeah, proper English. I think that I have to call him to be my writer. I don't know what all this argument is about. We speak here, the National Health Insurance Scheme is burdened with over 8 months of non-payment to its service providers. The National Health Insurance under Dr. Da Costa Abuaji is suffering, and sometimes these service providers will think that it's Dr. Da Costa and his team at the National Health Insurance that are refusing to pay. Monies of Ghanaians have been collected, and these monies are kept at the Ministry of Finance for God knows what reason, when they are not supposed to be kept there. Who will go and charge the Ministry of Finance for unlawfully keeping money that doesn't belong to that ministry? Because the money is supposed to be released 30 days after it has been collected. The 30 days is to ensure that when monies are collected in June, all the documentations and processes will be done so that at the end of July, the June money is transferred. You have collected that money. 8 months down the line, you are not releasing the money. And you are happy to be talking about previous year's collections and
so
non-payment.
Did I not say
when
that
you were
it's not
talking,
really,
I kept my mouth mute. So you should respect me and grant me.
You shouldn't misconstrue
I'm
my
saying
words.
that
You have the
respect
chance to
me.
rebut.
If you don't have respect for your audience, respect me.
I'm saying that
You don't have anything to say here. You don't have anything to say
You have
here.
your chance.
You don't have anything to say here. When you were talking, I was mute. You think that you did not use words that were more confusing? So keep
when you are
quiet.
addressing me,
Keep
I will have to
quiet.
come in.
I was not addressing you. I was talking. So keep quiet and listen. If you want, they will give you water to take so that you can calm your temperature.
I don't need water.
So evidently, this is a failure that we must confront. And it is even not true that when you pay, immediately you pay for your national health insurance, renew it, you are offered services. It's not true. When you pay, it takes you a certain period before the card is activated for you.
Yeah.
So you see the lies that we come and sit on television and say just on the perfidy of supporting a partisan political stand.
That's a lie.
So I am of the view that, look, we have to find a way to compel and probably to set charge that any institution that fails to respect the act, that institution must be made to pay. In fact, the individuals working there, for instance, the Minister for Finance, If it is you who is supposed to supervise the release of funds 30 days after they have been collected and you have not done so, you personally must be surcharged. So that this kind of nonsense will cease.
Language.
I'm sorry. But it's evident that, look, we have over-tolerated these things and people take it like it's a privilege when they hold these positions. Senate contributors alone, every month, 22% of Senate contribution goes into the National Health Insurance. That's direct subtractions. So everybody that contributes Senate, 2% of that goes into the National Health Insurance Scheme. Calculate the number of people. Then come and take the 24 to the 72 Ghana cedis that each one of us have paid. Exclude the ones that we go and eat, go and buy water, go and do other things that we pay, the indirect payments. And see the volumes that is collected. When you have a government that decide that they will overspend and that statutory funds will not be released, you cannot be glorifying that government. All we are saying is that there cannot be justification for the wrongs of yesterday because you want to base on that and say, okay, some wrongs occurred yesterday. I recall, for instance, that the battle that almost led to Omane Boamah removed as the national president of National Union of Ghana Students was that he took an issue with the non-payment of the Ghana Education Trust Fund's contribution to Get Fund. Osafo Mafu was minister then. The kind of lies that were peddled and told on Dr. Omane Boamah when he was NUC's president. Eventually, the formula for releasing and clearing the Get Fund was provided. Did that money go to Omane Boamah as a student leader? And probably that was the beginning of Omane Boamah severing his relationship with a party that he was a card-bearing member. Because he realized that, look, in my party, I cannot even speak the truth. I am a student representative. And I have to fight for the students' interests. When he started fighting, the party took it as if he was fighting the party. It was a decision for the students' rights, Get Fund to get the money, so that they can execute the project that will be of benefit for all of us. It's a similar thing with the National Health Insurance. And every Ghanaian should fight so that monies that are dedicated for these funds are given out so that we don't suffer the kind of difficulties that we have.
Now, the little education
What else do you have to say?
If my card expires today and I renew it within 1 month, it starts the same day that I renew it, within 1 month. After 1 month, it's when you will have to wait for 2 months. So it is not a lie when I said that. I stood there and they told me the insurance had expired for the last 1 week. I renewed it and I was able to use it that day to work.
Okay.
Again, a scheme that is collapsing, that picked 10 million active providers in 2016, has now 17.6 million active members. It is it is not a collapsing scheme. Again, a scheme that for the last 7 years, there was no single day that people were driven away because government is not able to pay service providers. It's not a scheme that is collapsing. That is the reason I drew the comparison and said that someone who is sitting here is telling us that the scheme is collapsing. I said it was really under a huge debt of 1.2 billion in 2017 when we came in. We staggered the payments and paid to service providers. And we are able to keep the service providers at least on an arm's length that almost all the time. We pay them, and we have instituted a measure that we pay almost 100 million every month. And that's the reason service providers are still giving services to health insurance card bearing members.
And what's your current debt to the scheme?
It's about 5 months. It's supposed to be 90 days. So at
8
least
months.
Yes, no, not that.
To the scheme.
That is Ministry of Finance. Are you talking about
to the National Health Insurance Scheme? What is the current Ministry of Finance debt to the National Health Insurance Scheme?
8 months.
Exactly.
2.4 billion. But what is the current service providers to the scheme who are really doing the service provision in the hospitals across the country? It's about 5 months. And it's supposed to be 90 days. within 90 days pay. So it's only 2 months that is in arrears that we're supposed to pay, which is normal because we have had instances where for 1 year payments are not done. And this was in 2015, 2016. So you think I should sit there to say that, well, to accept that everything is collapsing and so on. Again, Bernard mentioned at a point in time, he said when you go to the hospital, you wouldn't know whether they have charged you for this. When you go to the hospital, the first point of call will be the health insurance officer, desk officer in the hospital. Will pick everything and monitor whatever you do there so that he writes it. So the hospital cannot cheat. This came in 2014 when some hospitals were cheating. You remember in Ashanti region, some hospitals were cheating the scheme. So they instituted this. And again, we have really, when we came in, it was just 10%
you
online
have 30
payments.
seconds to land.
But now, at least about 70% of all the claims that we do are e-claims. And that's the reason we're able to really be up to date in our payments.
Thank you, Awal.
Now,
Yes.
Awal says there has never been a time under this government that
People were driven away.
service providers have complained about non-payment of
driven
claims.
away. I didn't say
You see, in my hands, you see, why are you being so disruptive, Awal?
No, I'm saying
we
but
sit here to
you are
to listen
lying
to all
because I
your
didn't say that.
You see?
Awal.
I said drive someone away that I'm not taking
You had your time.
for complaint.
This is March 8, 2022, and 2022 is the year that 0% allocation was made to the National Health Insurance Scheme. Private health facilities threatened to return to cash and carry over health insurance arrears.
They threatened.
So it means before the threat came, the payments were not going. You see. But now let me talk briefly about this capitation thing that Awal
in Ashanti region that you and I
Awal keep talking about. Awal, what was the capitation all about? The capitation basically was about the fact that every subscriber will choose one service provider for outpatient cases, where so that there would not be multiplicity of claims, because there were instances where somebody would go to three service
not disrupt
out
the
of 10
conversation.
regions.
Stop
Only
it.
Ashanti region for 5 years.
You've had your time.
Ashanti region was being used for piloting.
5 years pilot.
Yeah, was
Awal, you can't continue to behave like this.
No, I'm sorry.
The piloting started in the Ashanti region. The capitation model of the National Health Insurance Scheme was stated in the National Health Insurance Act 2003 by President Kufuor. So are you saying that by putting it in the National Health Insurance...
President Kufuor didn't do health insurance. You said he did mutual.
Yes, mutual health insurance. Whatever it is.
All right, Abbas, that's your time. That's your time. Bernard.
I just want to read a message
from
a lady who celebrated her birthday today, Dinah Pan. He said, tell the NPP man that he should stop playing with our emotions. Why? He is talking as if we don't have any experience. How can you renew your expired card and instantly use it?
Within 1 month, you can instantly use it. You can cross-check from health insurance people.
All right.
That's all.
Thank you,
that
Bernard.
is the verdict out there. And the many verdict. And the many verdict.
It
is somebody that has just gone to do that.
I'm going to read a couple of messages coming in. Good morning, now. At the Wa Regional Hospital,
Who are you?
the Wa Regional Hospital wants
When she works,
NHIS covers. One.
Well, the name was what I...
Gentlemen, I'm reading messages from our viewers. Thank you. All right, so good morning now. At the Wa Regional Hospital, the NHIS covers 1, folder, which is online, 2, a bed, but you have to pay utility fees. That's 10 Ghana cedis, depending on your stay. Any procedure or any test you run is cash and carry. Note, without fully paying, they will not attend to you. In conclusion, the NHIS does not cover anything at the Wa Regional Hospital. I'm a patient here currently, and I'm going through hell. Hence, tell Mr. Bernard to do the needful whenever any person who is sick calls him. He should just pick up our calls and help us. That's someone who is currently at the Wa Regional Hospital. He says it's cash and carry strictly, and he's struggling. So pick up your calls when he calls you. Now, not all hospitals have NHIS officers.
Someone from
I know what I am saying. And all right. More messages coming in. As for today, the NHIS is owed 2.4 billion as compared to 1.2 billion of 2016. This is 100% increase of indebtedness. So who is collapsing the scheme? Good morning, Na. This is from landlord Bolga D-Line. Our second independence is coming on December 7th. Let us all get involved. The arrogance and greed, loss of touch, all right, they're not listening to anybody. On 7th December 2024, it's a test of the sanity of Ghanaians. Okay, interesting. Unless there's promotion by the NHIS, when you renewed your NHIS card, it takes a minimum of 1 month before you can use it. Awal is just being economical with the truth, and that's from PHK. All right.
Today, you can renew it today and it works.
You have to forgive me. The messages coming in are many. I can't read all of them, but I appreciate your messages.
On a more serious note, the way Awal has went about his duty this morning.
Yes, Awal has been rather distractive today.
If we all mean to be doing that, we will
not be able to have
so he should respect the next time round if you are opposed.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been great having you this morning. Awal promises to be of better behavior next time when he comes. Stay tuned. We have so much more for you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you for staying to PENDREAM TV. Really appreciate your time. Please, if you have not yet subscribed as a new member, please do so for us. Hit the notification bell, like, and also share to other members to watch as well. Make sure you share to other members on your contact list or on your group chats. Thank you.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.